The movie begins in a historical setting as the Second World War approaches its end. In this crucial period, Finland and the Soviet Union reach a pivotal agreement through the signing of the Moscow Armistice. This treaty holds significant implications for Finland, mandating the disarmament and expulsion of Nazi forces occupying Lapland. Despite this directive, the Nazis maintain a firm and unyielding control over the region, creating an atmosphere of intense conflict and tension as the movie unfolds. We are then introduced to Tommy, a former Finnish commando who now lives in Lapland. Having turned his back on the world of warfare, Tommy seeks livelihood in the solitary pursuit of panning for gold along a river. His relentless efforts lead him to dig numerous holes in the surrounding area, and after several days of diligent labor, his persistence is rewarded with the discovery of a substantial gold deposit. The next morning, Tommy carefully collects the gold, securing it in a bag. He then embarks on a journey, accompanied by his faithful dog, riding through the wilderness on his horse. Tommy's journey is soon disrupted when he comes across a convoy of Nazi soldiers led by the formidable General Bruno. As Tommy passes by them, a tense exchange of glances occurs between him and General Bruno. Continuing on his path, Tommy soon encounters a group of Nazi soldiers. These soldiers, upon inspecting Tommy's bags, uncover the hidden gold. But, in an impressive display of combat prowess, Tommy swiftly overpowers the soldiers, leaving them defeated as he makes his escape.
Wait, hold on. Did you subscribe to our channel? Come on guys, you're here, you're watching the video. Help us out by hitting the subscribe button, as it really helps out me and my team to make more videos for you guys. And now, let's get back to the recap.
The sound of the struggle catches the attention of General Bruno and his men, who rush back to the scene. They arrive to find the aftermath of Tommy's counterattack, with Tommy himself having vanished into the wilderness. Bruno's discovery of a gold nugget in one of the fallen soldiers' pockets ignites a fierce determination to pursue Tommy. In a dramatic turn of events, the Nazis eventually catch up with him, and a high-stakes chase ensues, with a tank firing upon him. In a desperate attempt to escape, Tommy finds himself in a dangerous minefield. Bruno, sensing victory, orders his men to hold their fire, anticipating Tommy's imminent death. However, in a tragic twist, it is Tommy's horse that triggers an explosion. And even though Tommy was wounded, he miraculously survives, but not without suffering the heartbreaking loss of his horse. In a moment of quick thinking, Tommy scrambles to collect the gold that he'd spilled from his bag, and observing his actions, General Bruno, ever the tactician, orders his vehicles to halt. This decision allows Tommy to retrieve the gold, a strategic move by Bruno to avoid endangering his own men. With the precious gold now securely in his possession, Tommy resourcefully picks up a rock just as Bruno commands his soldiers to open fire. In a swift response, Tommy throws the rock at a nearby mine. This impact sets off a massive explosion, blanketing the area in a thick cloud of smoke. This smoke provides Tommy with a much-needed cover, obscuring him from the Nazis' view. During the ensuing chaos with bullets flying, Tommy cleverly uses his panning plate as a makeshift shield, protecting himself from the hail of gunfire. As the smoke dissipates, the Nazis were confronted with the realization that Tommy had disappeared. Soon, he stumbles upon a truck with a lifeless body inside. Using the truck as a shield, he takes this opportunity to tend to his injuries. With remarkable resilience, he extracts bullets from his wounds with his knife and hastily covers the wound with dirt. In a heartening turn of events, his loyal dog reappears, offering a moment of companionship. A gripping moment unfolds as Tommy, after a brief respite, is jolted awake by the sound of approaching danger. The Nazis, relentless in their pursuit, have arrived with dogs especially trained to track his scent. Tommy, ever resourceful, quickly conceals himself beneath the blunt truck, quickly observing as the Nazis and their dogs search nearby. His keen survival instincts lead him to seize a crucial opportunity. As the last of the Nazi trucks draw near, Tommy stealthily positions himself beneath it, clinging to its undercarriage. In a daring move, he punctures the truck's fuel tank, causing the gasoline to spill out. This clever act disrupts the dog's inability to track him effectively, throwing the soldiers off his trail. As the Nazis pause their search to regroup, regroup and plan their next move, Atami sees his chance to escape. However, his plan is momentarily crushed when the dogs pick up on his scent, barking loudly and alerting the soldiers to his presence. Despite being shot in the leg by one of the soldiers, Atami's determination does not wane. Faced with Bruno's command to release the dogs for a chase, Atami makes a bold and desperate move. He lights a match, setting the gasoline-soaked clothing on fire. The sudden flames startle the dogs, causing them to retreat, and the soldiers give chase. Atami, with flames engulfing him, dives into a nearby lake to extinguish the fire. General Bruno, believing Atami to be cornered, instructs his men to wait for him to resurface for air. When Atami finally emerges, the soldiers open fire, presuming that they've triumphed over him. Convinced of their success, 3 soldiers venture out on a boat to retrieve the gold. But Atami, ever the master of surprise attacks, emerges from the water, swiftly neutralizing one of the soldiers with his knife. As blood surfaces, Bruno orders the second soldier to jump in, only to meet the same fate. The third soldier, stricken with fear, attempts to flee in the boat, but is shot for his perceived betrayal. Amidst the chaos, Atami cleverly uses the body of one of the fallen soldiers as a shield, enabling him to escape as the remaining soldiers fire aimlessly. After a grueling journey, Atami finally reaches the nearest town, only to be met with the devastating sight of it being engulfed in flames. Overcome with exhaustion, he seeks shelter within the destroyed gas station, and a crucial moment unfolds as Atami finds himself in a dire situation, found and confronted by Bruno and the others. The Nazis, with a clear intent to incapacitate him, use a rope to securely bind Atami to a signpost. Before leaving with their stolen gold, Bruno cruelly taunts Atami by placing a single gold nugget in his pocket, a symbolic gesture of the fortune that they're taking away from him. Despite being left alone and bound, Atami's resilience remains unshaken. In a remarkable display of fortitude, he uses a nail attached to the signpost to support his full body weight, and going a step further, he presses his wounded leg onto another nail. The pain he endures is immense, yet it serves as a crucial means for him to keep conscious and alive throughout the night. As dawn breaks, the arrival of a plane near the gas station brings a new turn of events. The vibrations from the plane cause the signpost to shake, ultimately causing Atami to fall to the ground. 2 pilots have landed in search of fuel emerging from the aircraft. The barking of Atami's dog alerts one of the pilots, who discovers Atami. The second pilot, assessing the situation, suggests shooting Atami. However, Atami seizes the opportunity to strike the man's legs, causing him to fall and suffer a fatal injury. Atami, ever resourceful and quick to act, ambushes the other pilot from behind. Recognizing the potential value of the pilot due to his access to the aircraft, Atami quickly comes up with a plan. Together with the pilot, he departs in the plane, and meanwhile, the Nazis stumble upon a crashed plane blocking their path. They approach the aircraft with caution, only to find the deceased pilot inside, with Wolf's rope wrapped around his neck. Bruno, quickly realizing the significance of this scene, understands the depth of Atami's resolution and the threat that he poses. He orders his men to leave the area immediately, and in a separate development, 2 soldiers are seen accompanying the women in the truck, Aino being one of them. In the action-packed sequence of the movie, a sudden and violent turn of events unfolds. One soldier, who was accompanying kidnapped girls including Aino, unexpectedly collapses, lifeless, while another is forcibly removed from the truck. In the midst of this chaos, Aino attempts to seize the weapon of the fallen soldier. However, Atami, with his quick reflexes, boards the truck first and secures the weapon. Upon realizing that those in the truck are prisoners like Aino, he hands the weapon over to her, demonstrating a moment of solidarity. Atami then takes a bold and decisive action, climbing atop the truck, and he skillfully eliminates the driver by stabbing him through the roof. He then removes the driver's lifeless body, allowing Aino to take control of the vehicle. They skillfully maneuver the truck close to the tank, positioning Atami perfectly to leap onto it in a daring move. Meanwhile, Aino drives the truck parallel to another vehicle, which is transporting the majority of the enemy soldiers. The women in Aino's truck, seizing the moment, open fire with precision, effectively eliminating the soldiers. Aino herself takes out the driver, causing the truck to veer off the road. Alerted by the commotion, the occupants of the tank quickly accelerate, attempting to evade the unexpected threat. Atami, undeterred atop the tank, relentlessly attacks the hatch with his pickaxe. However, his efforts are momentarily frustrated when the tank abruptly breaks, sending him tumbling to the ground. Wolf, emerging from the tank, was set on shooting Atami, but Atami, with his remarkable agility, climbs back onto the tank, engaging Wolf in a fierce, grueling hand-to-hand combat. This intense fight sees both men falling to the ground, leaving only Bruno and another Nazi as the only ones left inside the tank. Atami, gaining the upper hand, lands several forceful strikes on Wolf, and just as he was about to deliver a final blow, 2 additional soldiers arrive on a motorcycle. Upon recognizing the legendary Atami, they're overcome with fear and decide to flee. Capitalizing on this moment, Atami takes the motorcycle and sets off in pursuit of the tank. Wolf, for a brief moment, thinks that he's evaded danger, but he was quickly proven wrong as the vengeful women reappear, intent on seeking justice. The climax intensifies when the tank halts to meet with a pilot in a functional airplane, but there was only room for one person, and in a ruthless act, Bruno shoots the other Nazi to secure his own escape and boards the plane with the pilot. Just as they were about to take off, Atami, ever persistent, arrives on the motorcycle and immediately begins firing at the plane. Although he only manages to shatter the windows before the plane takes off, Atami ingeniously positions the motorcycle right beneath the ascending aircraft, brandishing his pickaxe in a last-ditch effort to stop Bruno. In the climatic moments of the story, the action reaches a fever pitch as Bruno looks down from the plane, believing that they've successfully evaded Atami. However, unbeknownst to him, Atami, displaying incredible tenacity and ingenuity, clings to the plane using his pickaxe. In a pernicious and daring display of agility, he nearly loses his grip but manages to hold on to the wheel. With determination, Atami then begins the extreme journey to the inside of the aircraft, creating an entry point through the floor of the plane's cabin with his pickaxe. Inside the plane, the sounds of Atami's efforts catch Bruno's attention. As Bruno moves to investigate the source of the disturbance, Atami seizes the moment and lunges at him, sparking an intense and desperate fight. The battle escalates when Bruno attempts to strike Atami with the metal end of the line, and in a split-second decision, he catches it with his hand and cleverly connects it to a bomb before letting it go. This decisive action results in Bruno falling from the plane, bomb in tow, leading to a massive explosion that kills him. Exhausted and seeking a moment of respite, Atami's situation takes a turn for the worst as the plane starts to shake violently. He soon discovers that the pilot had died due to a gunshot wound, and in a desperate bid for survival, he grabs the bag of gold and secures himself as best he can, moments before the plane crashes into a swamp. Luckily, the swamp water proves to be Atami's unlikely savior, cushioning the impact of the crash. Miraculously, he emerges from the wreckage, still holding on to the bag of gold, and the movie reaches its conclusion as Atami, accompanied by his loyal dog, arrives in the capital of Finland. Clutching the hard-earned gold, he steps into the city, marking the end of his harrowing journey and the closing of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. Make sure to leave me a like, leave a comment, also subscribe to my channel. I love you guys so much, and I promise to see you on my next recap. Bye!